Hey, good evening. I was actually getting caught up in the intro. Then I was quite enjoying that actually. I don't know about you, but welcome to the show. I hope you guys are good. He says running about here and pressing buttons and banners and this and that and the other. And here we are at another Spirit Quest. Thanks very much for all of your there's no words for it. Thanks very much for all of your help, your support over the last week. It's just been mind blowing. And here we are, Thursday the 12th of Jan. Tomorrow's Friday the 13th. Now, um, normally I'm very, very much on the case and say, like, I'm not superstitious and all that malarkey. Even NASA won't have the number 13. Okay, even NASA won't have the number 13 in place. So if NASA won't have it, guess what? Not me either. Christine has joined us. Good evening, Christine. Welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. I am open for you guys to come and chat to me in the chat room, so get yourselves in there already. And of course, as always, we are brought to you with the United Public Radio Network, uprn.com, coming to you live on 105.3 and 107.7 FM on this beautiful Thursday evening. 6 p.m. if you're right there in Eastern time. Over here in the UK, it's just gone bedtime. It's 11 p.m. Not at all if you're young and fresh. So heads up, next week on Monday the 16th is the second of my shows, Spirit Quest, and we're on Spirit Quest. Second of my shows, Reach Across, Monday the 16th. That'll be the next show for Reach Across Live with Paul Francis, and that's where we'll be doing all the reads. And going by last week's show, that this Monday just gone, you enjoyed it. Going by that, you enjoyed it. So welcome back to next week. We're going to keep the show rolling. And of course, then the Thursday after that, Thursday the 19th, will be the next Spirit Quest, if I can get my head in the right place, of course. Facebook user says, hey, Paul, hope you're well. And he says, as he looks live on his Facebook page to find out who, in fact, is chatting to him. And we're just going to go on to that right now. Christine and Lynn. Christine and Lynn are both chatting to me, and Trudy's messaging me. John Quayle has joined us, and somebody called Facebook user. And I'm pretty confident that's not the name you had at birth. But anyway, welcome nonetheless. Now, tonight's show is all about, we're basically focusing on personal development, but we'll get onto that as the things roll on. Hey, Christine, welcome to the show. So, big question is, what is personal development? What is it all about? So, we'll get to that momentarily. And, well, tell everybody we're here. Tell everybody we're live, will you? Tell them to come and join us on the show and come and be a part of tonight's show. As we get underway. Now, I'm going to be with you for the next hour and a half. And if you've got any questions, by all means, please do put them to me. So, as I say, tonight's show is all about focusing on yourself. It's all about personal development. And why do I call it personal development? Like I say, we'll get to that very shortly. Amanda says, hi, Paul. I was asleep, but I just woke up. Well, that's very kind of you, Amanda, for being here, for starting. And I hope I'm not the bad noise that actually woke you up. Please let me know if I was the person that woke you up. I do hope I wasn't. So as you can hear, I could just tickling in some beautiful sounds in the background to keep your mind going on a gentle way as we get through tonight's show. Now, again, continuing to enjoy the people coming and join us. Share the show, share it with all your friends and family, but especially please share it with the groups that you're in. Now, one of the big questions, the big things that I get on a regular basis is, do you have anything for me? Well, that's, you don't cross one show over the other. Reach Across Live is when I do all the reads and the cards, and I do the one-to-one sessions and stuff of that nature, and it's about all the links and bringing connections to you. Spirit Quest is called The Journey of Life. Now, that's all about teaching you, being part of opening your mind and your sort of understanding of what and who you are and what you can do as a person. So please understand they are two separate shows. I don't do reads in this show, but I will be doing those on Monday night to come. Marie, lovely to see you. Welcome to the show, all the way from Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland. All the people in the United States listening to me tonight were going, "What in God's name is he on about?" Well, that's kind of my Northern Ireland accent. Marie, welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. If I haven't already said your name, okay, if I haven't said hi, welcome, like for example, I'm saying hi to Maria, hi to Christine, hi to Amanda, hi to Lynn, and hi to John. If I haven't said your name, you're coming up on my chat room as Facebook user. So please say hi, it's whoever you are, so I can at least put a name to who you are. Good evening from Oklahoma. Facebook user from Oklahoma, welcome to the show. I don't know who you are, but you are more than welcome to the show tonight. I'm trying to find out who you are. And Christine's obviously, she loves my accent. That's very kind of you to say. Marie will have an accent very similar to mine. Marie Therese. Therese. She'll have a wee accent just right there. And it's Kay. Hi, Kay. Welcome to the show, darling. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Please, 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 guys, share it. Get it out there. The more people we get involved, the more people, the more energy we have in the room. Now, I did get a lot of messages and a lot of emails, and a lot of people going to my website and subscribing. Brilliant. That's exactly what I want you to do. Get in there and subscribe. But I need you to go to my YouTube channel, okay, and subscribe there too, because when I release new things, if you're subscribed, then you will be made aware of when new stuff's being released, so you don't miss out. Especially when I'm doing new shows, okay? Shows will pop up here and there, and I do off the cuff shows sometimes. Just I might be sitting in a restaurant, or I might be sitting in a coffee shop, and I'll have the space to do it, and I will pop up and do a show. Now, if you're subscribed, you'll be notified of that show, so you can be a part of it and you don't miss it. Alrighty, so please be a part of that and get onto my YouTube channel and subscribe, and don't forget to like all of the different sort of shows that are on there. Going by what I've been getting this week through text messaging on Facebook Messenger, and of course emails, a lot of you want to know more about meditation. I've actually had people come to me and say, Paul, I would love to be able to meditate, but I don't seem to be able to do that. Well, that's actually not the case. You can meditate. There are different forms of meditation. And one of the more complicated forms is sitting down cross-legged with your fingers touching like that, or like that, and rest them on the back of your knees and going into a meditation that way. That is a meditation, yes. And that is what's commonly known as the formal meditation. So sitting in a lotus position, arms resting on the back of your knees, and going into a meditative state. Yes, of course, that's a meditation. But do you know what else is meditation? What you're doing right now. Literally what you're doing right now. You're listening to me in whatever form this is, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on any one of the other outlets, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on the radio on FM. You are listening to me, and your mind is putting pictures together. That's called meditation. Anything that brings your mind from an outward focus to a single point is meditation. Guess what? Reading is meditation. Okay. Big hi to Ward. Welcome to the show, Ward. Thanks very much for taking the time out to be here. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very kindly. So anything that takes your mind from a widened focus into a more focused point is called meditation. All right. So if you can read, if you can sit down and listen to the radio and let your mind go into a particular, wherever the host is taking you, that's meditation. So when I break that down for you and say, listen, you can meditate, but do it from a little point, from a standpoint of your normal knowledge, and then we'll build you up to be able to go into like an hour's meditation. We'll build you to that. I promise you, I will get you to that state. That is not difficult. Okay. Now, I have a show that's on my YouTube channel, okay, and it's called Moments. So if you go into YouTube and you type into the YouTube search bar, Paul Francis Moments, it will take you to that series. There are 16 episodes in that series, if I remember correctly, he says, having shot them. But here's the kicker, right? You can listen to the show itself, by all means. Please do. In fact, it'll help you out no end. But at the end of each one of those shows, there is a meditation. Those meditations range from 8 minutes to about 20 minutes maximum. Okay. So they are great, great shows to start learning how to meditate with. Okay. They're very small. The meditations are simple, and you could do them sitting in a traffic jam. They're that easy. Okay. But if you can sit and listen to your radio in a room and let your, they call it the radio theater of the mind. If your mind, if a person or a presenter can take you somewhere in your mind, you so close your eyes, now imagine this and imagine that, you are meditating. Alrighty. And if you can lose yourself in a good book, you are meditating, because whilst you're reading the book, your mind is taking you on a journey and creating a movie inside. So you're meditating, high and low of it. Christine Nolan's joined us. Christine, good evening. Lovely to see you. As Lena's saying there, guys, can you all please share the show, share it in your chat rooms, and share it with your friends and family, and invite them all to come and be a part of our show. So if you're listening to me in the United States, especially in the Eastern time frame, you are listening to me. It's around about 6:15 p.m. there. Welcome, good evening, and welcome to the show. And you're listening to me on 105.3 and 107.7 FM, coming to you from beautiful New Orleans. If you're listening to me here in the UK, you're listening to me on Facebook, on YouTube, on various other outlets, and it's 11:15 at night. So I can imagine that you're tired. Now, the reason why I brought that up is being tired is not a good time to meditate, okay? Because the likelihood of you falling asleep very, very high, okay? And it's another thing why we say don't meditate while you're driving, or don't meditate or listening to meditations whilst you're operating machinery, because it will take your mind away from what you're doing onto something else. So please, please, please be aware. Alrighty. So let's have a look at why we're getting to where we're getting now. If you listened to last week's show, and thank you for the feedback, it was magnificent. I gave you what's called an A/B test. All right, A/B. Do you remember the A4 piece of paper on A4A, if you want to call it that? I said all of the things you like about yourself, and A4B, all the things you don't like about yourself. I set you to do that as a challenge for this week. So if you haven't done it, let me share it with you again. It's a magnificent thing to do. Okay, it's a great piece of mind engineering. That's the best way to share it with you. Okay, so you get two A4 sheets of paper, alrighty, lined preferably because it makes it easier for you. On sheet 1, you put all the things I like about myself, and on sheet 2, you write all the things I don't like about myself. Okay, but here's the thing, just to share it with you again, if you missed last week's show, on the things that you like about yourself, or even that you don't like about yourself, you'll be very tempted to write what you think other people think. Don't do that. Alrighty, you'll be too thinking, I wonder what people think about me, and that's not what this is about. The whole idea of this mind engineering is it's what you think about you. That's what's important. So when you start writing things you like about yourself, I like the color of my eyes. You write that down. I like the length of my hair and the color of my hair. You write those down. You keep writing all of the things you like about yourself. Alrighty. Then of course you go to the other page and all the things you don't like about yourself. For an example, I don't like that I'm slightly overweight. Okay, write that down. I don't like whatever the case, as Trudy has just joined us and she's written my voice, which I told her off earlier today about, of course, because I said to her, your voice is lovely, your accent is wonderful, your voice is very soft, and you shouldn't be thinking about it that way. But anyway, whatever it is, you start writing the things that you don't like about yourself. Now, as I've done this particular exercise for many, many years with many, many different groups, you will run out of paper in all of the things that you like about yourself. You will. You'll run out of paper. You'll add another sheet, maybe another sheet, and maybe another sheet. I think the biggest amount of sheets that I have seen people using is probably 7 sheets of lists of what they like about themselves. Okay, that is right down to the most simplest of things. I like that I like to be punctual. I like that I like to be pleasant to people. All of the things like that. But you probably won't even reach halfway, if at all, on the page that you don't like about yourself. Okay, you'll be surprised. You'll get maybe 5 or 6, maybe 8 items out, and then you'll stop and you'll think, I can't think of anything else I don't like about myself. And that's great that you focus back onto the page that you do like about yourself. Now, here's the governing part of that particular exercise. Yes, I said the governing part. At midnight on the Saturday that follows whenever you do the exercise. So if you do the exercise, for an example, tonight, then Saturday night at midnight, yes, I said midnight, you take the page that has all the stuff you don't like about yourself. You take that outside to a safe place and you set fire to it. You let it burn and you let it burn completely and you watch the smoke lift up into the air and go off into the stars, off into the universe. Now, physically, what are you left with? What are you left with? You're left with only the pages of all of the stuff you like about yourself. Excuse me. So you take that page, those pages, staple them together if you have that opportunity, and then you go and you attach that on a magnet to your fridge. Why? I can hear you shouting down the. Why? Why would I do that? Do it. Alrighty. Every time that you go to the fridge to make a cup of coffee, to make a sandwich, to for whatever reason you go to the fridge for, get some juice, whatever, you see that page and you remember all of the things you like about yourself. Now, other people will come along and they'll say, all right, what's this? And you say, well, listen, I was doing this exercise that guy, that Irish guy, that Paul Francis guy told us to do. And you explain what it is. And you say, why don't you do it? And then they'll start reading all the stuff that you've written that you like about yourself. And then they'll start pointing out stuff you've left out. They'll say, oh, you didn't write that. Or you didn't say this, you didn't do that. And they will start to add to the stuff that you like about yourself because they're seeing all the stuff that you maybe haven't seen. So you're building up this positive confidence that's not only your own and driven and motivated by your own thoughts, but motivated and actually supported by what other people think about as well. So try that exercise. I promise you, it is a brilliant exercise. That you with the person who comes along and says, right, I'll do that exercise, and with them on the following Saturday night at midnight, 12 o'clock, midnight, you help them burn away all the stuff they don't like about themselves either, and then you go back and you refocus on what is good. So all of you who did do that particular exercise, I do hope you got something phenomenal out of it because it's there to be gotten out of. All right. Now, just to give you a quick reminder, after tonight's show, you're going to be, I'm going to be sort of followed by a phenomenal show, which of course is the Outer Realm, which is manned by the beautiful Michelle de Rosaire and of course Amelia Passano, two great friends of mine. Make sure you stick around for their show right after this one, The Outer Realm, coming up soon. So personal development, what is that? I'm going to ask you that question before I even start rapping on about it. What do you think personal development is? So while you're thinking about that for a moment, let me give you a bit of a heads up on what's happening in the Paul Francis camp. Well, I will be doing by the end of this month and start of February, I will be starting to do seminars, mini seminars. So that means 1 day seminars or Friday, Saturday, Sunday seminars. So 1 day seminars or weekend seminars. Now, the first seminar is actually on how to meet your guides. So we will be looking and talking a little bit about meditation. I will be taking you into breathing exercises. I'll be taking you into clearing and relaxing exercises. And I'll be taking you on a very focused and led meditation on into how to get to your gatekeeper, how to get to your sacred place, and how to get to meet and work and talk with your guides. So they will be coming up at the end of this month, start of February. So if you want to be a part of those particular events, then you need to email me. And how you do that is, he says, looking for his banners. You can email me on the following email, which is going across the bottom of my screen right now. And for those of you who are listening to me on FM radio, you're not seeing the screen. So you can email me at Paul at paulfrancis111.com. One more time, Paul at paulfrancis111.com. So you can be able to go on there. And if you get stuck and you didn't get a chance to write down my email, quite simply go onto my website, www.paulfrancis111.com. Alrighty. So get on there and make yourself aware. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything new that's coming up. So, as I said to you, what is personal development? And Amanda has come back with development of the mind. That is a fantastic answer. But Amanda's the only one who's responded. So what's going on with you guys? Get it in there. Get in there and tell us what's going on. What do you think personal development is? Now, as this is the new show that's coming out on the new format, which is the uprn.com, you will be actually able to come online and talk to me on a one-to-one basis, especially for all of you fans of Reach Across Live. So as in from next week, I will actually be doing, while I'm doing the one-to-ones, if I'm getting a focused read on someone, I'm going to give you the opportunity to come live on the show. How about that? You guys up for that? Come on live on the show. And I will talk to you, and we will do a very, very small, short, sharp one-to-one. Eva, welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. Thanks very much for being here. Don't forget, please, it's really important. Please, please, please share the show. Get it out there and share it with your friends and family. And let us know what's going on. And he says, and he's looking on to the website right now, and just making sure everything's running according to plan. And according to plan, it pops up and says everything's fine. So the Paul Francis website is up there and running. So I'm still waiting on you guys for getting back to me and thinking, what is personal development? So let me give you a little bit of the theory. I believe personal development is both physical and metaphysical. Okay, he sounds very scientific there. Physical and metaphysical. So what do you think that might be? Physical, metaphysical? And I'm going, oh my God, I'm coming into a lecture, didn't know anything about it. Well, I believe that when you develop on a spiritual level, you develop physically. And when you develop on a physical level, you develop spiritually. And that's why I call it personal development, because it's made up of both. Already, Amanda has said development of your mind, and she is right. Yes, she's right, but it's a personal development. Maria has joined us, and Joe has joined us. Welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. Good evening, Maria. How are you tonight? I hope you are well, and hope you and the family are doing well. And because I know you guys are not getting the best of weather over there. It's a big thing here on UK TV about what's happening in California. So please, please, please stay safe. So the concept of personal development is looking inward and focusing on ways to make yourself better. Basically, the high and the low of that. So it's looking inward, okay, and looking on ways and focusing on ways on how to make yourself better. Personal development increases your self-awareness and your self-esteem, and increases your skills and helps you fulfill your aspirations. So think about that. It increases your self-awareness, okay, Trudy, about your voice, your self-awareness and your self-esteem, which in turn then increases your skills, and help those skills, be it again physical, metaphysical, they help to fulfill your aspirations. Okay, there are 5 areas for personal development, and I'm going to read them out to you verbatim. So As Amanda correctly says, mental. So the very first one is mental. The second one is social. Now you might want to actually. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you an opportunity to write these down. So I'll give you a few seconds while we kind of think about that. Ward is saying greetings from Belgium. Ward, welcome, and hope Belgium is phenomenal, fantastic, and Cologne. My daughter and my son were in Cologne last week, so they were telling me it was fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us from beautiful Belgium. Very kind of you to be here. Maria's telling us that the weather is crazy, man. That's my very watered down American accent. Christine says to us, Paul, personal development is delving within and working with all aspects of the self, a humanistical approach to body and mind and spirit. Christine, that's actually quite accurate. There's more to it, but that's fairly accurate. Alrighty. You've left one side of it out. What do you think that might be? Well, we'll get there in a second. So I'm going to give you the 5 aspects. Okay. So I'm going to give you the 5 aspects of what personal development are. The 5 areas of personal development are mental, social, and here's the bit that you left out, is spiritual, emotional, and then physical. So let's go through that again. Mental development, which is one of the exercises I told you about, the AB sheet. Social development, how you fit and how you interact with others and how you affect others. Spiritual, which is what we do primarily. Emotional, and then physical, because whether you know it or not, your emotions affect the physical world and the physical world affect your emotions. So you've heard me say many times in the past, what you give off as energy, you receive back as energy. So you're affecting your physical world around you with energy that you layer. So if you have, say, a very stressful job, okay, I'm going to use my daughter as a kind of like a model here. My beautiful daughter is she is a very a specialized nurse. She specializes in infant care, so she is a pediatrics nurse. So she has to deal with very, very small children in a high intensity unit. You know, where the children are very, very sick. So what she has to deal with all of the time is very, very sick children, very, very scared and worried and stressed out parents, obviously. A really extreme working environment, which is pent up on pressure. And those of you guys from the UK will know what I'm talking about. The NHS is under extreme pressure here. And she has to deal with all of that, alrighty? And then she has to go home at night, alrighty? And very often what we do is we just drop that energy at home. Now you may not think you do that, but you do. Okay? You come home, you flop into your couch and you go, oh my God, what a day. And you go, ugh, like that. And you literally go, woof, and out of you comes a whole pile of energy. And in my daughter's case, her chap or soon to be husband will go, oh, hey, babe, did you have a hard day or what happened? You know, blah, blah, blah. I've always taught her to be open and honest and talk about issues, get rid of them. I've taught her what to do in relation to energy. 99.9% of the time, a daughter will not follow her dad's advice, especially in areas like that. But anyway, the energy is released. Now, if you can imagine, you're releasing a layer of energy that literally drops into the house. Okay, so if you're doing that every day, day in, day out, that energy is going to grow in intensity and in viscosity. Yeah, viscosity. So it's going to get thicker and thicker and thicker. And then you might be out on a day off and you might be out and enjoying, say, for example, going on a picnic, and you come back in and you sit down on your couch and you think to yourself, God, I feel tired. God, I feel not in a great mood. And you're wondering, why do I feel like I'm a bit hacked off and tired? Why am I feeling that? having a great day, and I'm feeling whacked out, and I'm annoyed, and I'm tired, and I'm starting to get a little bit assy. And I'll tell you why. Because you're sitting in the negatively charged energy. That's what you're doing. All right. And there is only one way to deal with that. Because you come in and sat in that primordial soup that you've been dumping in your house every day for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. In Rosie's case, maybe 10 years. So I've got two wonderful people who've just joined us. And again, I'm really, really sorry to say that I can only tell your name as Facebook user. Let's see who these are. I'm scrolling here to find out who it is. Cricky. And again, it's just I'm only getting Facebook users. I'm sorry. Now, those of you who actually who come to chat through Facebook, it would have said to you, there's a connection there to StreamYard. Click on that so I can actually find out who you are. So click on the StreamYard connection and register with the StreamYard, and it'll actually, all it does is tells Facebook that you're talking to me through StreamYard, and I get to see who you are. So Jules is here. Jules, welcome to the show. Lovely to see you. Trudy says, I'm just going to bring Trudy's up so I can actually see it on the screen. I spend time in nature with my horses and the elements under the stars, and that keeps me sane and chill, especially if I meditate. That's excellent, Trudy, because two things. Number one, you are out there in the elements, you're out there in the energy. And one of the things that you're doing that you may not be aware of what you're doing, but you're actually grounding yourself. So you're actually allowing the energy to flow out through you down into the ground, which is something I highly recommend that everybody does. Okay. Amanda is saying the same thing. I'm the same as you, Trudy. I get my dog and we go for walks for miles. And that is another way. Now, that's brilliant. And guys, listen, I wholeheartedly applaud you both. So I'm just going to bring my Amanda's up on the screen there. Robert Stanley Bell is saying, "Ma'am, ma'am, as why do I have two feeds?" Okay, overkill much. I don't know who you are, Robert Stanley, and I'm definitely not a ma'am. And if you've got two feeds, that just means that the team that run this is doing a good job. You can always turn one of them off, though. That'd be a really easy one to do. So Amanda says, I'm the same as you, Trude. I get my dog and I go for a walk for miles. Great. That's fantastic. And I wholeheartedly applaud both of you for doing that. Getting out there and into everyday scenarios, such as going for hikes, going for walks on the beach, getting to the ocean, going swimming, all of those kind of things are brilliant elements of getting rid of, it's Tina Hawkins. Hi, darling. Getting rid of energy. But you still go home after a day's work, and if you haven't had, I would say, for example, a decent day, you will drop your energy in your house before you go out for a walk. So you still have to deal with that energy. You still have to work with the energy you're dumping. And the best way to do that, of course, is go and buy my book, Paul Francis, The Safe Way, and it teaches you exactly how to deal with the energy that's in your home, in your car, and in your workplace. So the mini meditations and moments will actually help you to do that as well. So mental, social, spiritual, emotional, physical. By the way, a big hi to Tina Hawkins. Welcome to the show, darling. It's really, really good to see you. Trudy says, I walk barefoot in the summer. Not so much, obviously, not so much now because it's wintertime here in the UK, of course. I wouldn't advise you to go walking barefoot. It's not a really good idea. Oh, look, Trudy's giving me ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to bring Trudy up here because she's actually telling me audiobook, hon, audiobook. That's dead easy to say. Do you know how long it takes to create an audiobook? A long time, right? It's not a matter of sitting down here and just reading it. There's a lot to do in preparation. There's a lot to do in how to present each chapter, how you to present that particular chapter in not just verbatim, but in like, all right, when I say this, I mean this, and da 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 da. So it's a difficult thing to do, Trudy. I sage most days, says Christine, in my home and work and cleanse all the negative energies. That's an excellent thing to do, and I wholeheartedly. But Christine, you don't have to sage with white sage. You don't have to do that every single day. Your intent and your energy can be used with your favorite incense sticks as well. You can do that with your favorite incense sticks because it's all about intent. I wholeheartedly agree with Christine Nolan about getting out there and sage in your house or where you work at least once a quarter, at very least once a quarter. It's called smudging. And if you get out there and you do that, but if you go out, if you want to do it on a sort of a daily, bi-daily, twice weekly, whatever the case may be, using incense sticks, your favorite incense sticks will do the same job. Okay, as long as your intent is based upon breaking down the energy. Okay, now you might think to yourself, if you're listening to the show, didn't we start off on personal development? That's exactly what this is. Personal development is physical and metaphysical, beyond physicality, and as in dealing with spiritual and outside energies, because energies affect you as much as you affect them. Okay, I work with clients, so I need a clear space, and I promise you, Christine, give it a shot. I'm just going to try and save you time. That's all. I promise you that you will get the same results. Okay. Say for example, do say saging twice a week, and do the same job, but do it with incense sticks the other 3 days of the week. But I promise you, you'll get the same results. Jojo Walsh says, cleanse my home and smudge my room with sage, and I use my singing bowl. Absolutely, that's a great thing to do. I wholeheartedly, and even in my books, I say use sound. The singing bowl is one of the ways that I use to break down energy, and also bells. You can use specific spiritual design bells, or you can use a bell that gives you the same the you get tones out of different bells, and if you get a tone that resonates with you, that's the bell to use. Okay, you can even use a singing bowl as almost like a bell. Just dong it at the side, hit it once, and it'll chime out an energy. It's a great utensil for telling you what kind of energy you've got in that particular room. So what I used to do was I'd stand in the middle of the room and I'd hit the edge of the singing bowl, and the bell would ring out. And if the room is full of sort of quite intense energy, the ring won't last very long. It'll go boom and then disappear. Now, once you've done a cleansing and a breaking down of the energy and a proper cleansing of the room, hit the bell again, and I guarantee you it'll carry on. Okay, it's an amazing sort of milestone to show you how well you've done your job. Hi, Paul. I hope you're well. Again, Facebook user. Sometimes I just shake off the energy before going into the house after a long day. Well, there is a great technique for that again, and of course, all of these techniques and how to do these particular exercises are all in my book, The Safe Way. Now, if you specifically work hard at setting up an energy clearing system, which is in my book, you can make your life a huge amount easier. But it's a matter of like going through a walk-through car wash with yourself as you walk through this energy clearing system that you build up before you step into your home. It will be dragging away pretty much 80% of the negative energy you may have encountered that day. Only if you completely put your mind and soul and heart into what you're doing. If not, you just as well climb in through the front window because it's not going to do any difference. Alrighty. So going back to what we were talking about, mental, social, spiritual, emotional, and physical. We're talking up here about physical and metaphysical. So working with energy and how to break it down, how to understand it, how it affects you, and how you affect it. So we talked initially about how you affect it by carrying the day's hard work into your house. So you carry your day's hard work into your house, and then you just literally dump it in the living room. Now, as much as you come home to a loving home, and that's, I have no doubts, that energy will soon affect those around you, not only just yourself, but those around you. you'll maybe start seeing people being a little bit, again, tired. That's one of the symptoms. Getting a bit niggly is another one of the symptoms. Another one of the symptoms is being short with each other for no reason. Um, but one of the combats for those particular outbursts is communication. That's a combat. That's a massive, massive combat. Now, weirdly enough, one of the places that I learned how to stop an argument immediately is agree with the person. And I learned that in business college. I know all the play. You learn something. You'll always learn something new in the least of places. Alrighty. So I learned that in business college. So the best way to stop an argument is agree with the person. Paul, you're an idiot. You know what? I think you're right. And did you agree with me? Yeah. You know what? There are times when I'm an idiot, and this could well be one of those. Why do you think I'm an idiot? So you get to the crux of the matter really, really quickly, all because you just decided to agree with the person. So communication is what I'm teaching you there. So if you sit down with your loved one and you find yourself being sharp with each other, and you turn around and go, "Hey, do you know what? I didn't really mean to be sharp with you there. I'm sorry about that. Are you okay? Have you had a bad time? Blah blah blah." Communication, irrespective of how you get into it, but that is the result. Johanna and I do it all the time. You know, she has a very difficult time sometimes at work, and I'm noticing she gets a wee bit sharp with me, and me being me, and being Irish, I go, excuse me. And usually I say, what's going on? Are you okay? Or if it's me being sharp, which I had a bit of a rough week this week, and I'll say to her, I'm sorry for that. That's not me. And she'll go, that's okay. And I go, no, it's not okay. No, it's not okay. You're not a punching bag for me just to offload on. No. And then what's the matter? And then we'll get to a solution together. Guess what? That solution tends to be quicker and more effective. Okay, so we're talking about mental, social, and physical here. So that's 3 out of the 5 personal developments. Physical development will always, always help you. So getting fitter. Tina Allen's joined us. Tina, hi. Welcome to the show. Trudy says, I never argue with myself. I've seen you argue with yourself. So you argue with the horses. The poor horses get the bad end of it. So Christine says, Jojo, yes, absolutely. I'm a sound practitioner. I love the bowls. I also have chimes and bowls. And in my polytunnels are fantastic, Christine. My dad used to spend a lot of his time in his polytunnel. Right. Now, as I was trying to avoid a particular meditation, but I've noticed it's being brought up, and it's called the golden shower. Yes, I can hear you spitting your coffee all over the place. Alrighty. What did he just say what I think he said? Yes, the golden shower. I can hear it. I can hear it again. No, not the golden shower that you're thinking, you filthy person. But one of the most effective ways of getting rid of negative energy around you is whilst you're having a shower, when you finish having the shower. So I'm not going to go into this in too much depth because we're already 3/4 of the way through the first hour, and I've only got you for an hour and a half tonight. So yeah, Christine's crying, and I can hear it laughing, and I can hear coffee and juice and water being spat out all throughout the world. So I'm going to jump to the crux. You're in the shower. Imagine you are covered in like soot from a chimney. Okay, that soot represents negative energy around you. So go through a full cleansing process, lathering up with soap or whatever you prefer, whatever lotions and potions you prefer. But as you lather up and you start to shower and the lather is being taken away from your body and going down the pluggo, imagine that soot is being dragged with it. And that soot is being dragged down through the pluggo, down into the earth to be cleansed. Now, as you do the first lathering up, and if you feel that maybe not all of the soot is gone, then do another lather up Okay, and do it again until the point you get to that you feel all of the soot has left your body. At which point we change tact. So I want you to then set the water at a temperature that you feel very comfortable. I mean, what I would refer to as the perfect shower. The perfect shower. And as your face is up facing the water shower and it's coming down over your head and face and shoulders, imagine now there are droplets of gold in that water. Okay, so the water is coming down there and then droplets of gold with it as well. Once you start feeling that golden water and energy flowing down over your head, shoulders, and body, I want you to imagine you're looking at a fuel tank in a car. So it starts off at empty, and you allow that water to penetrate your mind, body, and soul, filling it with the golden light of love and divine protection. And as it's filling up, you see the needle move very slowly from empty, and you keep showering and enjoying that shower until, of course, the needle reaches full, at which point you finish the shower. Hence the name, the golden shower. I really do have to bite my lip when I'm saying that. I do. I genuinely. I'm going to use this particular moment now just to breathe and go, hey, you are listening to me tonight on this beautiful Thursday evening on United Public Radio Network 105.3 and 107.7 FM, coming to you live from beautiful New Orleans. It is Thursday evening, and you are listening to Paul Francis on Spirit Quest, the Journey of Life. And this is episode 5 or 6, I can't remember which now, but it is getting better and better. Now, going back to the golden shower, I promise you that is another technique that works. It is very, very simple, but there is an A-B to that as well. Okay, so imagine that you've done the shower. You're standing there and you've gone through all of the rigmarole of getting rid of the soot. You've gone through all of the rigmarole of imagining the beautiful gold droplets going right through your body into your soul and replacing all the energy. And it's gone from empty to full. And then you finish the shower, you've dried off. Now, just take an average day when you're going along and maybe you're feeling tired, run down, had enough, literally just, you know what, I wish this day was over. All you got to do is pull in. If you're driving, pull in. If you're at work, just go and take a minute or two and close your eyes and remember that shower. Remember how it felt. Okay? Remember that water dropping down over your face, shoulders, and body. And remember how it felt. Remember that gold building up around you. And that will replenish your energy. So it's a B, that's the AB. The A is the actual doing of the shower. The B is the memory and the energy of the shower that you can call on at any time. You can do this while you're sitting in traffic. Alrighty? Rather than winding your window down and having a cigarette, forget the cigarette. Just enjoy the ability to be able to re-envisage this beautiful shower and what it's done for your body. Alrighty? And allow that to revamp and revitalize you to get on with the day. And you have to choose. You have to choose to let it go. Okay. Tina Allen has said, Milwaukee, Milwaukee. Trinity's going, I can vouch for that. So I don't know if she's talking about I can vouch for Milwaukee or she can just vouch for the actual shower. It works, and it works brilliantly. Now, during this week, I am human. Okay, let me just, yep, that's real. I am human. I'm a person like everybody else, and yes, I get off days too. And there are days, even me, yes, even me will get days where I think, oh, why do I bother? And it's because um, I can get tired, and because I deal with everyday life matters. Like just because I'm a professional and highly experienced psychic medium doesn't mean that I don't get the everyday aches and pains and trials and tribulations as everybody else. And there is times when it can hit me too. Yes, even me. even me, who trains you how to sidestep the bad trips and the bad falls, and how to get over the bad trips and the bad falls. On the odd occasion, I trip up and fall too. And there are times when I do a lot of work, and then you get people coming back at you, giving you a hard time, and you think, why do I even bother? Why do I even, why? At the end of it, why do I even bother? And I had one of those moments this week when I was thinking, I don't know, am I actually making any kind of headway? Am I actually doing the right thing? Am I actually helping people in any way? Because sometimes I just really think I'm just wasting my time. So I had one of those moments. Alrighty. Must leave. Nighty night, Christine. Thanks so much for the golden blessings to you all. Christine, thank you for taking the time to be in here. I really, really genuinely appreciate it, and hope to talk to you very, very soon. I wish I could shower. I could shower, uh, um, but I can't. I was in a car crash and stuck in a neck cast. Well, you can shower in your mind, my darling. You can shower. You can close your eyes and remember a shower. Okay, so you can visit the shower in your mind's eye. You can revisit all of that wonderfulness, and you can still go through the whole rigmarole of having a shower, changing the water to gold, and building up that energy around yourself too now. But we're going to continue, and we're going to start to send you a whole pile of wonderful energy now to help you get to that place, because that's what we do here. Okay. Spirit Quest, the journey of life, means we're all here together. We're all taking that journey, so we can do it together. So mental, social, spiritual, emotional, and physical. So basically identifies the areas that you want to improve. Identify the areas that you want to improve. So what area of your life do you think you need to improve on? That's most important. A lot of people don't even do that. A lot of people don't know what it is they want. Okay. Second part is create a simple but effective plan. But here's what it's one thing having a simple and effective plan, but you need to have a start and a finish date. A lot of people don't do that. Okay. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And they never set a date of when they're going to do that. And guess what happens? It doesn't get done. They never get around to doing it. So set a start date of when you're going to start doing this particular thing that's going to help you, that's going to create those 5 elements and make your life better. A start date, and when you're going to finish, I'm going to be achieved that goal by this date. Okay, and make it happen. You've heard me say it over in the past. I'm going to say it again. Say this out loud. Write it down. Put it on your as a screensaver, wherever you want. Say it over. If it's to be, it's up to me. If it's to be, it's up to me. Structure your goals from easy to difficult. People don't think that. Stuart Michael's joined us. Stuart Michael, welcome to the show. Never heard of this type of shower. Well, give it a shot, Stuart. Give it a shot. I promise you, I learned it many, well, 2 years ago from my teacher, who is an extremely highly evolved psychic medium teacher. And she taught it to me, as well as quite a few others amazing meditations that I've taught to my students who literally live by it now. In fact, some of my friends, dear friends, actually refer to my book as the Bible. I don't like you doing that, but thank you, because it's not the Bible. It's they, all of the stuff that I've taught is my book, The Safe Way. But if you're going to get a copy of my book, The Safe Way, just get the third and final version of it. Okay, the deluxe version. It's got everything in it. The first 2 copies were, the first copy was actually what the producers and those people wanted in it, and then the second version was because I enforced on it, and the third version, the final version, is because I left that particular publishers, told them what to do, and did the full version myself. Hope you're well. Anything for me is I keep feeling a bit drained, and then you want to be listening to. I don't know what you mean. Anything for me? What does that mean? And thank you for asking. I don't know who that is, by the way. It just says, hope you're well. Anything for me, feeling a bit drained. And that says Facebook user. I don't know what you mean, anything for you. I've just been talking about why you're feeling drained and why people are feeling drained and what to do, how to get past it. So we've just been dealing with what Stuart is talking about, this the golden shower. So, as I say, there are 5 areas of personal development: mental, social, spiritual, emotional, and physical. And guess what? Each one of those interact with each other, and guess what? Each one of those affect, and I'll say it again, starts with an A, not E, and they affect each other. So, mental will affect physical. Procrastination, think about that. So, mental will affect physical. Procrastination. There you go. Social will affect emotional. I don't like those people. Spiritual will affect all of those. All of those. It will affect you mentally. It will affect you socially. It will affect you emotionally, and definitely affect you physically. Especially if you come out on a paranormal investigation with me, then you'll be definitely affected physically. Emotional affects all of them as well. So they all interact with each other. Think about it. Now, here's the one we have. Here's the one big golden key, right? You have absolutely total control over it all. Do not ever come to me and go, oh, he said, she said, they made me feel. Because I will stop you in your tracks and I will say, that's not the case. No one made you feel. You chose to feel. Are you trying to tell me because I saw that I chose to feel X, Y, and Z? Yes. No matter what the stimulus is, you still choose the feelings. Now, if you're pre-programmed in a particular way, you are going to be emotionally stimulated by whatever. All right. Now, if somebody comes up to me and goes, "You're a fraud. You're useless. You're full of crap. What you do is all rubbish," I can either choose to go, I disagree with you, and here's the reasons why, and here's the results I've had over the last 30 years, and here are all the people that I've worked for, and here's all the people I've managed, lives I've saved. Or I could say, don't talk to me like that, or I'll knock you on your ass. See, there are two choices there. Okay, 99.9.9.9.9 infinity. I choose the more gentle approach and go, well, my usual response these days is, see, when I go home tonight, and they go, yeah. See, when I get into bed, and they go, yeah. I said, I'll go to sleep whether you believe me or not. And my usual response to the real sort of highly negatively motivated people is, you will remember me and you will ask for me. And they go, no, I won't. I said, yes, you will. I promise you, you will. 3 minutes before you cross, you'll ask for me. Not even with that, but it's a positive reinforcement. I don't go negative on them. So that's because I have a mental approach to what I do. I have a social approach to what I do. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you now. I have a spiritual. My spiritual drive is second to none. I wanted to find out exactly where, what was going to go on, what happens after this life. There's the Abdul Lamim Ababar. Abdul Laminimim Abdul Bar is trying to ask Trudy, would he like to do a reading for? That's enough, isn't it? And just, I mean, just his name's enough to make you giggle. So, Abdul, you're an idiot, sort of. Um, and don't come back. So when you get these idiots jumping in, unless I have actually said to them, said to you guys, this is a person that I wholeheartedly trust, just avoid them and report them. Okay. So Abdul Abar, you're an idiot. Go away. So I've allowed him to actually affect me mentally. Did you see that? Did he affect me spiritually? Not a chance. Did he affect me emotionally? Yeah, he made me laugh. Did he affect me physically? Yes, I pressed a button to get rid of the git. And did he affect me socially? I told everybody there's an idiot, so they'll just all avoid him too. So anybody who has to jump on someone else's shows to get readings, that tells you everything. So, this is why they call me a comedian. Ready? So going back to what we are talking about, okay, the 5 areas of personal development. Now, when you have a stronger control over yourself on a physical basis, in other words, you can motivate yourself, you can, hey, listen, you don't think I am the next thing to God, because I have days where I just cannot be bothered. I really, you know what, wake up in the morning and I look at my diary, and if it's not full, I go, do you know what, I just can't be asked today. And I will, have a day off like everybody else. Um, if it's to be, it's up to me, is something almost that should be one of the commandments, in my opinion. Okay. The reason being is I was frightened as a young boy in Ireland growing up. I grew up as I call myself a recovering Catholic. I'm, I grew up with the Catholic faith. My uncle was a bishop, so it was very intense. Um, and as much as I have faith and absolute belief in the next life, and angels, and belief in the Holy Trinity, and all of those belief systems, I was still scared about dying. So I needed to go and find out what it is. What, you know, they keep talking about, going to heaven in the next life. Well, surely there's got to be proof. Oh no, you have to have faith. No, there's got to be proof. There has to be proof. Different religions, different other denominations have proof. You know, a lot of these different religions believe in reincarnation, so that's got to be proof. So I started researching, still not knowing what a medium was. Never heard of a medium, never heard of a psychic for that matter. And my metaphysical journey started with chi, learning and discovering what chi energy is. Because if this energy is there and it's physical and it can affect me in a physical way, then I've got to be able to find proof somewhere else. So what I do and why I do what I do, it's social, okay? But it's supported spiritually, okay? If I can show you, both in doing reads for you, that your loved ones are connected to you, if I can show you physically by doing paranormal investigations and giving you physical proof of entities and energies, um, you know, just to use as a word, ghosts, then there's physical proof that life carries on. If I can prove to you that life carries on, then you'll stop worrying about death and get on with living. That is my goal. Make your goals simple, structure it, and start it with easy to get to difficult, not difficult to get to easy. A lot of people give up really, really quickly. So start your goals simple. Okay, what's the very first thing to do? Try to meditate. Okay, simple. Start off small and easy. Go to my YouTube channel, Paul Francis on YouTube. Go into the search bar, type in Paul Francis and the word moments, and that will take you to my first series. And in 16-part series, in there, simple meditations, and that will start you off. And then by all means, get onto my YouTube channel, website, paulfrancis111.com, and go into there, subscribe, and then become part of the mini seminars, where I'll be teaching you how to meditate, how to work with your gatekeepers, how to go to your sacred place, and ultimately how to deal with, work with, and interact with you guides. That's coming up at the end of this month. So I wish I could find out who that is. I do that oftenly in the shower, as well as my intent and my light. Whoever that is, I totally agree with you, and thank you very much for sharing that. Hi, Kathleen Connor. Welcome to the show. Trudy says, we don't need him. We have you. Bless your heart. Would you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? We're already through the first hour. It just went boom, straight past. So I've only got literally 25 minutes left with you. So just to give you a bit of a reminder, I will be back next Monday, Monday the 16th, for Reach Across with Paul Francis, that's where I do the reads. Thank you for your support in what we just went through last Monday, because your feedback is just fantastic. And of course, I'm back on Thursday, the 19th of January for Spirit Quest. Amanda says our class meditations were fantastic. I saw everything clear as day. I got you, Tina. Thanks. Just use your initial letter when you're writing something. Just use your initial letter T, and then I'll know who you are. But if you click on StreamYard and allow StreamYard to acknowledge that it's you, your name will come up here in the chat room. So the mini seminars will start at the end of this month and the start of next month. And don't forget, I'm not just saying this to sell books. I really am not, because I've already got it as a bestseller in Amazon. But if you go and get yourself a copy of The Safe Way, I promise you it will help you. I promise you that, because I wrote it specifically to help people. I didn't write it to see my name in print or my face on a book. I wrote it to help people. Now, before we scoot on with the rest of the show, have you any questions for me? Time goes quickly when you're enjoying yourself, says Lynn. Yes, it does. And thankfully, this week I'm not as stuffy as I was. So this flu starting to leave me. I think I was still involved with that flu, and I was getting a bit of a neg head on the other day. So, but thank you to all of you who came to my aid and said, listen, whatever you choose to do, we'll stick with you. I appreciate that. Now, Trudy says, now here's something that I do want to bring up, because this is quite important. Does any of you guys know what a psychic vampire is? Now, Trudy says that I run into it with a vampire. Now, I know what she means, because I actually told her what a psychic vampire is. Trudy is actually one of my students. Marie says, good night to you all. It was all good listening to you. Marie, thank you for being here. I know it's a bit late for all you lovely people here in the UK and Ireland. I really appreciate you being here. I'm actually going to sit down with Michelle soon and see whether or not I should bring this show earlier in the evening, so that you lovely people here in the UK can join in as well as all the people everywhere else in the world, because it's going to be afternoon for them. But here it's really late for us. So a lot of the UK listeners tend to go because it's midnight. I don't expect you to hang about. I appreciate it. The last 2 years have been terrible. Will it be better this year? No, Kathleen O'Connor, thank you for coming into the show. First and foremost, let me just say this to you. The last 2 years have been terrible. That's because you're focused on them, okay? You're focusing on what went wrong. Now, if you haven't been following my show, Kathleen, as we came through Christmas and into the between Christmas and New Year, I was teaching everybody to let go. Let go of 2022. Let it go. And don't carry it into 2023. Now, at the beginning of this show tonight, Kathleen, I said, I basically said, what you want in life, what you want to happen to you is down to you. Okay? Will life get better this year? It will get better, but you have to want it to get better. Okay? If you're wrapped up in all the things that went wrong, then they are going to hang around, because let me just put it into an easy way of putting it, right? So long as you put fuel into a crappy car that only 3 of its wheels work and the windscreen's cracked, the doors don't work, the lights don't really work, that car will drive so long as you keep putting fuel in it. But until the point where you no longer put fuel in it and decide to get a new car, that's when things change. Okay? When you want to get into a new car and drive a very comfortable, beautiful, warm on a cold day, cool on a warm day, listen to your favorite tunes car, it will only change for the better once you choose to change it. Like attracts like, Kathleen. Like attracts like. The energy you give off is what you attract to yourself. So when you decide, you know what, stuff this, I've had enough. Okay, that's it. End of. I'm not doing this anymore. Because you know what, Kathleen, those are the exact words that I used. I said, I've had it. That's it. I'm done. I am no longer going to accept negativity in my life. I am no longer going to conform to guilt. And I'm no longer going to accept being downtrodden and at the bottom of the pile. That is not who I am. That's not what I deserve. I am not doing this anymore. And I literally shouted out loud, that's it. I'm done. From here on forth, it's only ever going to be positive. And from here on forth, I'm only going to accept great things in my life. I deserve great things in my life. I said to the universe, I want you to take away all negativity. I no longer conform to guilt, and I deserve great things in my life. And I did not waver from that, Kathleen. And guess what? Everything changed. Doors started opening. Things started changing. All of the things I wanted to do started to be in front of me. All of the things I wanted to focus on started to become easier to focus on. All of the stuff that I no longer needed in my life, I let go. If it doesn't serve you, then don't hang on to it. Let it go. If it doesn't serve your life, get rid of it. Now, a psychic vampire is a person that we all know. There are everybody listening to me tonight, whether you're listening to me here in the UK, listening to me on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you're listening to me tonight, everybody has a psychic vampire in their lives. Okay, what's a psychic vampire? It's one of these people, for an example, they'll come into your house and, hi, it's me. Hi. They come into your house and you make them a cup of coffee and they sit there and they go, oh my God, have you seen such and such? And didn't they do, oh, that guy's an imp, or that guy's an idiot, this. And they go on and they on and on and on to the point where you literally can't take it anymore. And they have sapped every single ounce of energy out of you. And guess what? They get up and they go away. That's a psychic vampire. They have sucked every last drop of energy out of you. And then they sort off. And they leave you there standing bewildered, thinking, what in God's name just happened? Right. Well, guess what? There's an easy fix. Two options. One, don't let them back in again. What did your mind just do? You're going, what? Option one, don't let him back in your life. That was sort off. Don't go back. Option two, the reflection technique. It's called. Trudy says, still do the mirror thing. It's called the reflection technique. Alrighty. So when this person comes into your life, now you can be the best. You can be the upper hand, if you want to call it. Right. When this person comes in, hi, and they sit down in front of you, imagine between you and them is a huge mirror. Alrighty. And what's referred to as a two-way mirror. Now, a two-way mirror is like one of those ones you've seen in the movies where a cop is interrogating the suspect, and then there's other two cops watching it from behind what's literally a glass, but it's a mirror. And it's a two-way mirror in that you can see through, but they can't see through. Like the outside of an ambulance. You can't see into an ambulance, but you can see out of it. That's called a two-way mirror. So you sit there, this person sits in front of you, and they start going on. And in between you and them, you see this huge mirror, and it can be as extravagant as you want. It can go from the ceiling to the floor and from one wall to the other wall. But what will happen is, as this person starts firing out their fangs to get your energy, they'll hit this mirror, okay? Now, you know it's there, but they don't. So you're there, all smiles, and going, and they're starting to get their own energy reflected back on them. That's why it's called the reflective technique. Okay? They're starting getting their own negative energy reflected back on them. And you watch them change. They'll change. They'll start shifting about in their seat. They'll start feeling kind of like not welcomed, even though you haven't said it or you haven't done anything to make them not welcome. And they'll go, do you know what? I got to get off early. I'll catch up with you later. That will happen. And it may not happen directly on the first visit, but it will start to happen on the second and the third. And guess what? Pretty soon they won't come back. And it's not because you were unwelcoming or unneighborly. It's because they're starting to see their own energy. And they don't like it. And they won't come back. Try it. It may be a neighbor. It may be somebody at work. It may be somebody who's just a pain in the ass. Try it. It's called the reflection technique. or the mirror technique if it makes your life easier. You're listening to me tonight on 105.3 and 107.7 FM, coming to you from the United Public Radio Network, being beamed out into your beautiful homes from the beautiful New Orleans. Right after tonight's show, we have The Outer Realm, which is hosted by the amazing Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Please don't miss that. They are fantastic, fantastic people with an amazing show. Hi, Paul. There are a couple of relatives that I would be using the reflection technique on. Yes, I have relatives exactly the same. Although with relatives, I have a habit of telling them straight. But hey, that's me. Alrighty? That's me. People know who they are with me because I tell them straight. Go away. Don't bother me again. We've only got 15 minutes left of the show. Is there anything you would like me to talk about tonight, which we started off the show? So tonight's show, personal development. I only talked about a specific part of it. Personal development it's a massive, massive area of business, and we will continue that each week. That's why it's called the Journey of Life. Tonight, we have identified the 5 areas of personal development. 5 areas. 1, mental. 2, social. 3, spiritual. 4, emotional. And of course, 5, physical. As you train physically and you get fitter, so you become fitter spiritually and emotionally. You become clearer and quicker mentally, and your social aspect will grow. If you start employing techniques like learning to meditate, you'll think faster, you'll recover memories quicker. And there are simple meditation techniques to recover memories when you're getting ready for an exam. Okay? I taught those to my kids, and they used them and they worked. Simply speaking, identify the areas that you want to improve on in your life. Look and be aware of what it is you want to identify with. Okay. Create a simple and effective plan, but create a start to that plan and a finish to that plan. Structure your goals, but structure them from easy to hard. The reason you do that is we are creatures of habit. And when you start to affect yourself with easy goals and you start to become effective and habitual in being a goal getter, even though they're easy goals, okay, you become habitual in achieving goals. Okay. My oldest and dearest friend Colin said to me, he said, "Do you know what, Paul? You're always the dreamer. You always had your head in the clouds. You're always the dreamer." And I was thinking, okay. And then he followed it up with, "But you've got a habit of making your dreams come true." And he used those words. I'll say it again. You have a habit of making your dreams come true. Don't let anybody belittle you with being a dreamer. Every single thing you encounter, you work with, you deal with, and you use had to be dreamt up. It had to be a dream somewhere. Listen, let me just take you right back to the early 1960s when Star Trek came out. And it had these cool things going like that. And you saw Captain Kirk signing these, make-believe pads. Hello, iPad. Spaceships. They're common. In fact, they're so common, we now have a spaceport in Cornwall. Yes, spaceport. So everything is achievable, but you have to set your goals on what you want to achieve. But set those goals simple, okay? Set your goals by saying, right, I'm going to stop doing that, and then stop it, okay? And make the goal simple but achievable, and then make that achievement happen on a regular basis, become habitual, and you will become an habitual goal getter and a goal achiever. It is simple. It's a simple technique that allows you to be and get to where you want to be. For example, losing weight. All right. Here's another one. Look, Healer Ayomide Is that not a made up name? You ever heard of the name Ayumidi? Okay, Healer Ayumidi. I'm coming on to your show, Paul, because I'm that dumb. I can't get um, my own people. I can't get my own customers or my own clients. So what I'll try and do is I'll come on to your show, and I'll try and steal yours. But you're too dumb because nobody on my show will actually listen to you. So sort of. Um, and by all means, guys, if you want to go and report that idiot to Facebook, please do. I'd be very happy if you did that. So change your mental attitude. So, like, for example, like that idiot there has come on there. Time's gone by. I would have probably got a little bit upset by that, by somebody trying to muscle in. But now I just look at that person and say, what an idiot. Okay, clearly fake. And you can tell by that they're all coming from the same place, with, and they're all coming from the same part of the world. So they're not out there to help people. They're out there to gain money for themselves. And what you give off as energy will come back in you. Here's the big thing, right? If you go out of your way to make other people's lives miserable, one thing I will guarantee you, it will come back on you, but it won't come back on you just in what you've done. It will come back on you threefold. Just as I did that, Kathleen has put up, do you believe in karma? I just absolutely, totally believe in it because I've seen it happen over and over and over and over again. I believe in karma, absolutely. So these idiots that go out there and they try and bounce into people's shows and steal people's um, clients and try and give them BS readings, that energy is going to come back on them and it's going to affect them 3 times as bad as what they gave off. Not because I want it, because I don't think negatively, but what you give off as energy, you must be ready to receive as energy, because that's what's going to happen. Finally, I'm here, brother. Great. Who are you? Oh, excuse me. I nearly swallowed my tongue there. I had a marriage proposal. Oh, it's Roger. Hey, Rog. Hey, buddy. Welcome. I'm actually going to be finishing in 6 minutes. So, buddy, it's so great to see you. Thanks for being here tonight. I had a marriage proposal from one of them a few weeks back. I can imagine they did, and for that marriage would have had an underlying green card concept. Um, so tonight I wanted to be kind of give you a head start, a kickstart into where you want to go. So identify the areas that you want to improve on in your life. Create a simple but effective plan, but have a start and finish date to that plan. A lot of people don't do that. It has to have a start and a finish date. Okay. Um, but also have structure to your goals. Um, hey, it will be that's Roger. It'll be right. Yeah, yeah, I've got it, guys. Sorry, I'm just for the benefit of those people who are listening to me on FM. A lot of the lovely people who are chatting to us here in the chat room are all telling me who it is that has just come in to chat with us, and it's our dear friend Roger. So as we come to a close of the show tonight, don't forget, right after tonight's show is The Outer Realm, which is hosted by the amazing Michelle de Rocher and Amelia Pisano, two amazing people. Make sure that you stick around and watch that particular show right after this one. But I will be back with you on Monday night, that's Monday the 16th, for Reach Across Live, where I'll be doing the reads. And I'm going to be starting bringing you on to the show, doing one-to-ones directly with you. So those of you who want to be part of that, make sure you're there on Monday the 16th at 8 p.m. UK time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern, already. And then, of course, tonight's show, which is Spirit Quest, The Journey of Life, that will be back next Thursday, it's Thursday the 19th. So thank you very, very much for being a part of tonight's show. I hope it was something that, that brought you maybe, thoughts that you never had before, and brought you some ideas that you might want to practice. But don't forget, it's really important to try the exercises. Sorry, let me retract that. It's not important to try. It's important to do the exercises. Do them or don't do them. Don't try. Because when you go to try, if people say to you, "Oh yeah, I'll try," that means they're already given into failure. They already said, well, I did say I would try. Okay, that means they're not going to give it 100%. So stop them in their tracks and go, "Don't do it then." And they go, What do you mean?" No, don't either do it or don't do it. Don't try, because try is just simply telling me you're going to fail in advance. So go and do the AB exercise. That's the sheet of paper with everything I like about myself and everything, and B, everything I don't like about myself, and get rid of the B paper. Try the techniques initially, a little bit at a time. The techniques of the reflective technique, okay, the meditation techniques, just breathing. This, what you'll hear me say during meditation: return to the simplistics of life. What is the simplistics of life, or the basics of life? What is the basics of life? Simple breathing. That is the basic of life. So just return to the basic of life. If your mind starts to wander, that's called mind noise, and it is very common at the beginning when you start to learn to meditate. Your mind will go off to do things like, "Oh, have I done the shopping? Did I do this? Did I do that?" That's called mind noise, and it is common. So don't worry about it. A little bit more perseverance and a little bit of patience and more practice, you will get everything you need to do. So when your mind noise kicks in and you can't get back on to focus, and just go back to the basic of life. Breathe in through your nose, hold it, fill your lungs with oxygen, and imagine that oxygen floating out throughout your body, through your blood cells, and it being brought to every area of your body. And breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. And that is how you will get on. Oh, there's one of my dear friends, Gina. She's just joined us in the room. Gina, hi! Welcome to the show. Long time, it is indeed. You've come in literally just as I'm coming to the end of my show, mind you. But I will be back next Monday night if you want to stick your head in the door. I'd love to talk to you. And of course, I'm back on Monday night with Reach Across. And of course, I'm back with Spirit Quest on Thursday. So tonight's show has been all about personal development and some techniques of how to get ready for that, and some techniques of how to set yourself up to make 2023 your year. Okay, but like I was saying earlier on, choose to be happy. Choose to let go of everything that doesn't serve you. Choose to let go of all of the negatives that don't serve you. Get rid of them out of your life. Do not conform to guilt. Get it out of your system and say to people, "Oh, are you trying to make me feel guilty?" And say it over and over. I do not feel guilt. I do not conform to guilt. So what you're saying is actually not going to work on me. And after a while, they will actually believe it, and you will believe it. And guilt will not affect you. Loretta says, "Hi, Paul, I'm late, but I'll rewatch." Loretta, I promise you a great show and some fantastic things to learn. Gina's just about to go and get ready for her show. Gina, well, I wish you a fantastic show tonight, and I'd love to see you sometime very soon. Amanda says, "Good night. Thanks for the show, Paul." Amanda, you are always welcome. I look forward to seeing you very soon. I'm going to wish you all a bon farewell. Have a wonderful day if you're in the United States. Have a wonderful evening. And for all of you lovely people here in the UK and in this time zone, good night. God bless. Don't forget to communicate, appreciate, and validate everybody in your life so a medium never has to do that for you. And more importantly, take time out of your life just for you. Remember, this life doesn't exist if you're not here. Roger, oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Roger's show will be back. We're with Thursday today. So Roger will be here for This Mug's for You on Saturday. Make sure you are around for that particular show and support Roger and Faye. They're two of my favorite people. And of course, then you have his show, which is Wednesday nights for Latino Psychics, Psychic Visions. I will be back with you next Monday night. Have a fantastic weekend. Until I see you again, good night. God bless. Be safe and look out for yourself and look out for each other. Alrighty? It's dead easy to get into a downward spiral, but it's up to you to come out of it again. Okay? It's up to you to make the choice to get out of it. Make that choice. Make this life last. Make this life be everything you want it to be, because you choose that. Choose well. Good night. God bless.